some interesting news. Now, I'm not a news channel, I'm more of a sort of strategy guy for this game. But it was recently brought to my attention by a subscriber, Ying Factor. Thank you so much for bringing this to my attention. That currently on eBay, on Walmart, and other platforms where Evil Dead the game is being sold, the game is being sold as Nighthawk's Evil Dead the game. So what does this mean? So if you take a look at Nighthawk's Interactive's page, you're going to see that most of the games that they handle are kind of indie games. And they did actually work on Friday the 13th, the game, which I was very surprised about. But what I found out after researching was because originally I remember playing Friday the 13th and never seeing Nighthawk Interactive in the loading screen. It was always Ilphonic and yeah, Gun Studio. Sorry, I had to remember. It's been a while since I played Friday the 13th. I unlocked all the trophies, and after I unlocked all the trophies, I stopped playing because they shut down their dedicated servers. So they worked on Friday the 13th, the game, but they only worked on the Switch version. And when you go to their About page on their website, it doesn't talk about developing games. It talks about helping other developers. So what I actually think is happening is they're going to be releasing the Switch version of Evil Dead, the game. Now, what does this mean in the long term for this game? It's all going to depend on the advertisement of the Switch version, because this is a second round of advertisement for the game, and this could bump the other platforms for this game as well. PC version, PlayStation and Xbox new consoles. So this could bring hype back to the game. I'm not entirely sure. I think most of the community is going to complain about this. They're going to be thinking like, why were you working on a Switch version when you need to be working on putting things into this game to keep it alive? But what Saber is trying to do is they're trying to get new player bases, because that's where they make their money. They don't make their money on retaining player bases, so that's unfortunate. So it's kind of tough to think about like what's going to happen in the future of the game. So for the Switch version, right, they have to go through Saber to make any changes to the Switch version. So it's just going to be like a whole new problem, because everybody already knows that Saber has a lot of trouble getting approvals from the other IP holders of Evil Dead. So I think what Nighthawk is going to have to do is Nighthawk is going to have to go through Saber to get their approval, and then Saber has to go through all the IP just to get changes done on the Nintendo Switch version. Because the Nintendo Switch version was supposed to come out a long time ago, but it was canceled. So since it was canceled, they probably had all that coding, so then they were probably like, well, we might as well put this out. And we might as well put this out, and because we've almost had it done. So I kind of hope that it just brings more hype to the game. Like I said, I'm more like a gameplay channel, kind of just like funny moments and glitches and strategy. So that's why I'm playing a game while I'm talking about this news. And I want to talk about the potential of what this game could have, and an interesting idea I had earlier this morning. Now, obviously, this is just a rough idea, and I think it would be very interesting if they had. You could create your own character in this game. So let's talk about like how that would work in a game like this.
4 of the living dare to challenge our dominion. Under my
So,
guidance, we will reap the flesh from their bones.
I don't play Dragon Ball Z. I think there was a Dragon Ball Z game where basically you had a lobby where you could just walk around as your character with other people as well. So other online players, and then you could walk up to people and challenge them in a, 1v1 fight. But I think it would be kind of interesting if they did create something like that, and you'd be able to customize your own character, like a character that looks like you. So you're bringing yourself into the Evil Dead universe. I don't think your character would need voice lines or anything like that. I mean, GTA has done that in the past, where your created character would not have any voice lines. And same with Fallout, so they don't really need voice lines. The question is, what ability would your creative character have? And this is where it kind of gets into like kind of tough area. Because when you're playing Demon, right? I could see right now there's a Pablo. I know his ability. Warrior Ash, I know his ability. Leader Ash, I know all these characters' abilities. So the created character would have to have one specific ability, and you wouldn't be able to interchange them with anybody else. So you would either have to create a whole new ability for this creative character, or what I thought would be good, and I know it sounds dumb, like why would you ever go create a character, would be...
Your orders were clear. The humans must not obtain a single piece of the map.
He didn't have an ability. Like you're sacrificing something to play your creative character, and I think that's what you should sacrifice, is the ability. So you would have to make a specific skill tree for your character, creative character, and this kind of comes into a problem as well, because it depends on like what kind of character you want to run. And so I don't think the creative character should, like, you should be able to choose either support, warrior, or hunter. I don't think you could make a creative character leader, and that's because what that's going to require to do. Your creative character would need an aura, which would be an interesting concept, but then the development team would have to create some sort of unique aura ability for that character. And I honestly am just spitballing to make it as easy as possible for Saber to implement. Like, if they want to go above and beyond with this idea, I think that would be awesome. The reason I talk about like a common area that players can go to is so they can talk about the Evil Dead franchise, talk about the game, all these kind of things, talk about strategy, all this stuff. So be like, you're walking around with your creative character, just having fun. And I think I'm just thinking of this idea because what it really is like, how do we prolong the life cycle of this game? What's going to prolong this game so that we could play this for years and years to come? And a good example of that is GTA, right? How long has GTA been out? It's been out forever. Like, they have no reason to make a GTA 6 because of how well GTA Online is doing. Right? You had a story mode in GTA Online, and ooh, I didn't cancel it. I just didn't hold it long enough there for the demon dash. But you need to create something that have people coming back to this game and be like, oh, this is fun. And Friday the 13th servers are going off soon. Let's see, I should have marked that area to see how far this is. See if we can place clouds here. We'll just test it anyways. Okay. So it's all about prolonging this game, in my opinion. Okay. Is he gonna go for Plautus here? I don't want you to do that.
The living have discovered another fragment of their precious map. Bleed them dry. So, you want to see this?
Yeah, sure.
This never gets old.
Oh, sweet. I think I could go trap him in this corner. So, can I feel like that created character could be one reason, and they wouldn't have to go through really a lot of IP holders to affect the creative character process, and they could implement a lot of things to it. Yes, they would have to go through the IP holders to bring up the idea. But I think other than that, is this a bait? It is a bait. Ooh, I almost got him. Let's see, possession. Demon powers? Sure. I keep saying that this game has a lot of potential. I actually too think it does. But the problem with it is just, you know, going through the IP holders, all that stuff. Thought I was gonna hit that warrior ash. Oh, sweet. Okay. Let's go with boss here. Ugh, I don't have... I could trap him in there with Flautist. Do a little trappy trap. with that, Travis. Can I get in front of him again? Perfect. Ooh. Yeah, that was perfect. I got out whatever everything I wanted to say, and it was a funny ending. So yeah, thanks for watching the video. That's my thought on what the whole Nighthawk thing is about. I think it's about just bringing the game to Switch, and I think this will be good for the game, but it's not what the game needs.
Darkness will rule for all eternity.
So thank you for watching. Gantz, signing out.
I've crushed your pathetic